Dear Spirit, thank you that I am light and that I am here in 2019 with peace around me. Thank you, Spirit, that there is hope for the planet and I am it. Thank you, Spirit, that wherever I walk, the sorrow will recede from me, so that if enough of us walk here someday, never these things will be felt again. Dear Spirit, I recognize an awakening in me, a freedom of my soul, an advancement in my light, an evolution in my consciousness. I hereby drop all energies that don't belong, and that includes past karmas that might have pushed me into areas that are now inappropriate for my life, and instead I am in control of my future. I will visualize the things that will happen on my path, and it will not be some energy of completion or something that I have done in the past that needs to be done again. For I am now on a new track, a new future. The light is shining, and it never did before. I hereby drop my karma. Dear Spirit, I allow my consciousness to see past everything I was told. Dear Spirit, I give an allowance for a higher awareness of everything. I realize this planet is ratcheting up a notch in dimensionality, and I want to be part of it. And that is the truth. And that is the simplicity of it. Dear Spirit, love me. And there is nothing but love. And love will clear all of this. Not only the anxiety I feel, but it has a play in what's to happen as well. You're posturing yourself for benevolence, dear ones. Did you know that? You're actually paving the ground in front of you for benevolent things when you pave it with love. That is a new, living awareness of the love of God, the love of the Creator. Some have talked about the angels and the guides that you might have around you. You'll say, guides, come in and help me. They do all the time. You know what they do? They love you. Angels, come in, please. I need you. Well, they're not going to rearrange things for you. They're going to love you. And love rearranges things for you. Dear Spirit, tell me what it is I need to know. And in that you visualize tuning in to the most beautiful channel there is. And as you concentrate in your own way, you tune in and you get a certain feeling that lets you know you're connected. And it's different for every single human.
Dear Spirit, I accept the mantle of mastery, which brings the faculty of wisdom. Through my mastery, I choose to observe and not react. Instead, I practice compassionate action and project a countenance of peace. I continuously surround myself with light and reject anything that would diminish another person. I am generous with my kindness to others and look for goodness in all things.
Dear Spirit, I'm having trouble with this. Show me what to do. Not who to go to, but intuitively what it is that I need to know. Dear Spirit, tell me what it is I need to know. And then be silent and do nothing. I'll tell you, that is an actionable item. That is when Spirit says, through intuition, I'm going to show you this, I'm going to give you the path and whatever. In other words, it's yours to ask directly, not to some other worker who may have answers to help. But the new paradigm is you go direct. How many of you have thought of that? How many of you are willing to try that? There is something new in the new energy, and that is expected advanced intuition. Dear Spirit, I hear you, I love you. I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know where I'm going. Please help me to know. Then you get in your car and travel from A to B, and B to A, and A to B, and B to A. You've got to be quiet and stop and erase all biases. You even have to be willing to change what you think is truth in order to get to that place where you are one with the creative source. And that's when the communication starts to answer every question you have. Every one. What should I do with my life is no longer an issue because it becomes obvious. Obvious. That's what intuition is for. Dear Spirit, I need you. I don't know what I need. I don't know what I need. But I'm in trouble. And it may be you're in trouble emotionally or from what a doctor said or anything, but you're in trouble. And now you need that which we say is available because God is listening. Free choice means you can ask. And in will come a feeling that you've been heard. That's the first thing. Chills, you're being listened to and heard. And then it starts a multi-dimensional process that you don't necessarily understand or like, but that starts to change. Sometimes it's waiting for synchronicity. Sometimes it's going through things you didn't think you'd have to go through. All of that, when you come out the other side of it, you know you've touched the hand of God.
Dear Spirit, if I'm supposed to meet somebody, then let me have the wherewithal to at least look for it.
Dear Spirit, if you're real, show me. Dear Spirit, I now realize I've done nothing wrong. There's nothing missing in my life. I am sitting here and poised and ready to go to the next step, to tune metaphorically to that new station, to go to a higher vibration and continue my work. Dear Spirit, I give intent with my intuition to tune to the new station. Dear Spirit, I want to recognize things that are not for me in my magnificence. And when they start to occur, I want none of them to pass through the filter into my life. Dear Spirit, filter out or let me see it when the negative things start to be shown to me or said to me, including those from my family or my workplace or the media. Let me see it clearly. And I will proclaim none of those things into my mind today. A filter against all negative things that are untrue or that have a bias or an agenda that would come into your life that would change that magnificence that you are. Your Spirit, give me the ability to discern truth past what I was taught. Give me signs that I can see. Let innate start to talk to me in my life so that as I meet people, I will know them from their hearts, not what they look like, not what I've been told. That I can meet them and realize that they are just like me and have a soul just like me, and they want the same things as I want. And that no cultural information would ever again get in the way of love or compassion or wisdom. Dear Spirit, let nothing inappropriate or non-benevolent in. So that no matter what is happening to me, I'm always ready to celebrate the other's success. Don't let me get filled with my own problems to the degree that I cannot celebrate someone else's beauty. Don't let that filter, let anything in that's inappropriate to that. Dear Spirit, let the love that is there pour into me in such a way that it fills up this vessel and changes whatever is going on in my life that's inappropriate or not there yet or that I worry about. And let me move forward when the time is right, because it will be right. Dear Spirit, I'd like to open the jar, please. Dear Spirit,
Скъпи дух,
guide me so I'm in the right spot at the right time. Oh, dear Spirit, I heard the channel. I believe it. I want to move into those places that are new for myself. Help me to do it step at a time. I'm going. I'm ready. I'm there. Dear Spirit, what's going to happen? Dear Spirit, what's going to happen? Dear Spirit, what's going to happen? And there's nothing, and there's nothing, and there's nothing. Finally, you give up. And then you get an answer, and it's not what you expected. Did you realize it almost always happens at the last minute? There is a reason. That's because the interface with all humanity has to be taken into consideration. Even Spirit doesn't know exactly how it's going to turn out because it doesn't know the free choice of those around you or you. But the benevolence is built in. The field is there, and you're going to find the answer. Timing is not what you expect, but you already knew that. Some of you are still waiting for things, and you knew that. I dare you to step into the void in all these layers and say, I'm in the unknown. Akash, get in the back seat. Get in the other room. Dear Spirit, I've done everything. I know you're there. I can feel you there. I can feel the love. I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm awake. So why is this happening in my body? Why can't I shake this habit? Why can't I get the job I want? You said I could. I'm awake. Look, I believe in you. How much patience do you have to understand that all things happen as they should in the cycles that are designed for you at the right time, at the right place? And if you had them too soon or too late, they wouldn't work. They wouldn't work. And so we heard you. Did you know that you're actually in control? And that the more you understand about these things that happen in waves and cycles and the timing of them in your situation, the more you can relax and say, thank you, it's here. Dear Spirit, you can say, I own this time. I'm here on purpose. And in this time, I create peace for myself. I create peace for those around me because I have a light that's bright. I create healing for myself. The healing that I have for myself will create more light, and those will see it who are around me. Dear Spirit, in your own mind, dear Spirit, I'm ready. It's always been there. I've known it's been there. I've been waiting for this. I officially give permission for the seed to be planted to activate number 24 in my body. And make it so. This is why you came.
Dear Spirit, I am open to receive that which I do not know. Dear Spirit, I give allowance for energies that I may not recognize but will come to me in the form of love and compassion. I am willing to receive this in these days ahead.
Dear Spirit, I want this, I just don't know how. Do you know what that creates? Intuition in you on how. In other words, if you're confused on what to do next and how to do it and what the timing is to do it, and you're expressing that to a God who loves you and is standing by to help you, you're not hitting a wall that is uncaring. Dear Spirit, I'm in love with the creative source. I don't understand any of it. And being in love means I don't have to. Dear Spirit, show me what I need to know. Give me the intuition that will guide me to places I don't expect. And in the process, let me have joy in my life as I walk into what appears to be the dark, but really is the light. And so it is.
Dear Spirit, I don't fully understand this connection or what it means or who I am or anything, but I feel the love of God. That's an allowance to go beyond what you know. And so many of you have done this so many times, going beyond what you know. That's so hard for a human. You want to box it and understand it and know it. Dear Spirit, I don't know who I'm talking to. Dear Spirit, I don't know anything about you. Dear Spirit, give me the connection so I will. And that's when it starts happening. Every day you can do that. And every day you'll be connected. And so it is. Dear Spirit, I don't understand what's going on, but let me feel comfortable with it. I don't understand what's around me right now or the feelings I'm having. Let me be comfortable with it. I challenge you to give me peace. Dear Spirit, if you're there, show me. That's enough, if you mean it, to start a process. The process will begin to unite you in a way you were born for. You're here to find yourself. You're here to grasp the process and to change this planet. You want to know why you're here? Your purpose in life is not to be a victim of the planet, dear ones. It's to take that hand and discover something that's always been there. What have you got to lose? The study of the DNA is the beginning of the study of all things human. Dear Spirit, show me what I need to know. And under the pretense that you're creating your own reality with your voice and your interest, the things will start to occur that need to be seen by you that will shape your path. The next thing, Spirit, bring me those who I will recognize as part of my path. And that, dear ones, is when the partnerships show up. And that, dear ones, is when romance happens or abundance starts to change in your lives. Because that statement creates an energy of expectation. Have you heard that today from a scientist? That's the truth. You are so in control of your path. Dear Spirit, dear Creator, tell me what it is I need to know. Profound it is because you opened the door for all of the information, like the mother would love to have heard from her boy. If the boy had said this to her, she'd still be talking now. Do you understand this? The door is open with intent to give you what you need. And it doesn't have to be about the virus. It can be about your next step in life, about how to take care of yourself, perhaps better, to meet the right people or find the right things. Some of them may be sitting here and you haven't really met with them or listened to them, because there's a lot of knowledge carried by light workers in these groups. Dear Spirit, you might say, I want awareness. I want something that's going to help humanity, because I want to stay. I've got teaching to do. I've got things to do. I'm an old soul. I hereby break the disease inheritance from my body. I hereby break the disease inheritance from my body. I therefore am not one to have it in my blood. Dear Spirit, this is the direction I'm going. If it's not correct, push back. I give you permission to push it away if it is not correct. I give you permission for me to find the right place, the right time. I give you permission to correct me if I don't have it correct. And I will go and feel so comfortable about this. I will not be anxious, and I will follow the path that's the most intuitive. But boy, if it's wrong, I give you permission to move it aside and let me start again. That's how it's done. Every single one of you, I want to tell you, you're watched with love, with compassion, with benevolence, to help push and pull you into the right direction. But all you have to do is say, let it be. I accept the idea of the right place, the right time.
Dear Spirit, dear Creator, show me what I should know and guide me by the light. Hey, dear Spirit, I drop my karma. I don't need to learn these things. I drop it completely. There is precedent for this. And there are cultures who do this. And I'm asking you to do it. And understand, it has no place anymore on this planet. This is starting to be an energy that is fresh, different, more compassionate, where you can do more things. Expect the best, dear ones. Expect miracles, dear ones. And watch them happen before you. Dear Spirit, I have no idea how to connect to this new thing that Kryon talks about. Truly a missing piece. It was not in my church. It was not anything I ever learned in my society, in my culture. It seemed like it was something for the ancients, and it seemed quaint. Now I'm finding out it's beautiful. It may even be needed. Dear Spirit, help me connect and show me what to do. And that is like somehow opening a floodgate. All you have to do is have intent to know more. Dear Spirit, I have stopped the car for a moment because in the silence there is a message. And in the silence you will start to hear. We'll never hang up the phone. We're with you forever. And this is just the beginning. If you'll stop more often. Because there are tools at hand that you have no idea about. That come from an area you have no idea about. That have nothing to do with your mind or your consciousness or what you think you're here for. Stop the car and forget everything you've ever been told you're here for. Because what you are here for is a paradigm that hasn't happened yet. You're preparing this planet. Dear Spirit, I wash away everything that is not appropriate in my life right now so that I can go back to my natural state, which is peace. I start to feel love. I start to smile a little more. Isn't it great to know that if I step back and focus on nothing, the thing that starts to appear is what I want the most. Love, peace. I smile. I might even laugh. And that is the answer, dear ones. Let that which is your inner self take over, because that is the natural state of the human being. Dear Spirit inside, tell me what it is I need to know. Activate my internal compass so that I will be able to sense the direction and not worry. Dear Spirit inside, quench the fear that I have about anything. Dear Spirit inside, show me the peace that passes all understanding, because I'm worried. Dear Spirit inside, I'm afraid. Activate that which I know is inside me so that every single cell can feel what I know is there. I am eternal. Give me the peace, the quietness, and do it now. Dear Spirit inside, dear God inside. And when you say those things out loud, the very cells of your body celebrate the fact that you know it. It's almost like they're saying, they're awake. They know about us. Finally, the integration begins. The meld is the invitation. To carry around that part of you which is divine, that you feel is God, whatever that is, to carry it into the most unlikely places, what you do, where you go. As you drive, as you walk, as you shop, as you eat, as you talk. And dear ones, when you do that, things change. Dear Spirit, give me this ability to drop into my heart and feel the difference. You'll have help when you do that. But when you do that, you start to generate an energy that is multidimensional you're not even aware of. That starts connecting to the field, that starts connecting all over the planet. It's a grid, you might say, that you're not aware of. It's a light grid. It's a love grid. These are the things you can do. And there are those who will sit there and say, well, it's got to be something better than that. Is there a group I can start? Is there a book I can write? And I would say, you're so linear. That was the old energy. This is the new energy. And today you are being asked to look at it differently, assimilate it differently, be multidimensional. Dear Spirit, tell me what it is I need to know. Don't decide what it is you need to know. Instead, be thankful. And for those of you who do that and said, well, I didn't get an answer, I want you to understand the Spirit is not your clock. Spirit gives answers when they are needed, but the love is instantly felt if you wish. Dear Spirit, help me with this problem. And you'll feel the love that says, we see you, we know your name, we see the problem. You'll get it. And then the test is this: thank you, I'm going to get it. And you feel peaceful and less anxious about the problem. Instead of saying, I don't think I was heard because I don't have the answer yet. How linear of you. Dear Spirit, show me how. So a thinning veil can work many ways for many consciousnesses on the planet. There are those who are in fear, even in this room, of a thinning veil because you don't understand it. You think it's simply more of the unknown conspiracies that are happening on the planet that you don't understand. Because that's what they felt like. You're in the dark. And so you're going to be more in the dark. And that's not what's happening. It's confusing to many, this thinning veil. So let's set it straight. You came for this. You've expected this. I want you to relax in the love of Spirit, knowing this is all for you. Dear Spirit, I am ready to make this shift for my life. And I want you to show me what is next. Give me an intuition of what to say that will change me into that which I have come for. And you will find these seeds of intent will fall on wonderful fertile ground. The things will literally, the metaphor, they will grow around you. And you don't have to do anything but watch it. Things will start happening in your life because you gave intent to change. The healing that you came for. I know who's here. The healing that you came for. Don't ask how many times you have to say this or that or what's next. Or I want you to expect it's there. Dear Spirit, is it true or not true that there was intervention on this planet to give the human beings what they needed to have? And the answer is yes, yes, and yes. Well, dear Kryon, that doesn't make sense because you said we've had free choice. Dear ones, you do have free choice. But apart from the choices that you have, almost everything else was planned. Dear Spirit, I know you're with me. Dear Spirit, I know you're here. Dear Spirit, I expect benevolent things in my life, and things start changing. Once you get to that stage, dear ones, you simply threw the switch. Because from now on, you get real communication and results. Dear Spirit, I love you. Dear Spirit, I give allowance for change. Dear Spirit, I give allowance for change. Dear Spirit, I give allowance for change. Show me what I don't know. And do it in a fashion that I'll understand, that's clear to me, that's beautiful to me. Dear Spirit, I'm willing to catch the ball that's thrown by any angel anywhere on this planet to me. Dear Spirit, I give permission for what I don't know. And if you will do that, dear ones, and mean it, with an intent which is pure, it starts the process of change for you. Dear Spirit, you might say, help me to understand and feel who I am and the lineage that I carry of humanity. Help me to have peace over these things and know that I'm included and loved dearly. Help me to feel the entourage with me all the time and relax over the things that I am not relaxing about. Help me to understand my eternalness and the light that I carry for the earth. That's a good place to start. You're asking for things that are willingly going to be given to you. We've been waiting for a lot of you to ask. And that's the truth of the day. Dear Spirit, help me see the things that are covering up the image of love from the Creator that I am. That is every single cell of my body. Help me to understand as I drop into my heart and send love to humanity or anyone else that it doesn't have to be with concern or fear. That it's generic, so beautiful and strong is it, that it's going to go exactly to who needs it. Therefore, if I put myself in that place and generate that beautiful, beautiful emotion, it's more than an emotion, it's an energy that goes everywhere. If you only knew what one person in coherence with the field and with others could do for the whole. You get two or more doing it, and it's awesome. Unbelievable. This is the energy. Dear Spirit, I have intent to drop these things that I don't need anymore in this lifetime. Can you say that? Dear Spirit, right now, I am dropping those things that do not propel me into kindness and compassion and keep me from joy and peace. Dear Spirit, I am in charge of my own biology. My soul and I together drop the inappropriate things that would get in the way of peace, joy, compassion, and happiness, or the rest of my life. I now have that power, that ability, and I'm doing that in front of all who wish to watch. I am changing my DNA. And with that, I proclaim a new lightness of spirit, a new kind of kindness for myself. Dear Spirit, I have intent to drop these things that I don't need anymore in this lifetime. Can you say that? Dear Spirit, right now, I am dropping those things that do not propel me into kindness and compassion and keep me from joy and peace. Dear Spirit, I am in charge of my own biology. my soul and I together. Drop the inappropriate things that would get in the way of peace, joy, compassion, and happiness, or the rest of my life. I now have that power, that ability, and I'm doing that in front of all who wish to watch. I am changing my DNA. And with that, I proclaim a new lightness of spirit, a new kind of kindness for myself. Dear Spirit, dear God, show me the wisdom that I should have. I give permission to go to the next level. And that's when it starts to change. What have you just done, O wise human being? What is it? Think about it. Because we teach this over and over and over. You have free choice to go any way you want, to the light, to the dark. You do. But when you face off with your soul, with spirit, and say, show me a better way. When you face off, you might say, with yourself, let me open the box where the solutions are. Show me the next level. I want deeper wisdom. Show me where it is, where to go. Push and pull me with my intuition. Dear Spirit, if there is a bigger box that I'm in, show it to me. And that awareness alone starts to disappear the internal boxes. You might have 10 nested boxes and suddenly you've got 3 because you're so much aware of the love of God, of the tools that you have as a human being, that the energy of Gaia is alive and well, and that you actually are in control of your reality. You just dismissed 3 or 4 boxes. Now, what are those boxes? They're what you've been told. Every single one of them represents that which you have been told you are. It isn't just inaccurate, dear ones. Some of that was on purpose. Some of it was also the best that humans had at that moment. But it all told the story of a great big God and a dear Spirit. If there is a bigger box that I'm in, show it to me. And that awareness alone starts to disappear the internal boxes. You might have 10 nested boxes and suddenly you've got 3 because you're so much aware of the love of God, of the tools that you have as a human being, that the energy of Gaia is alive and well, and that you actually are in control of your reality. You just dismissed 3 or 4 boxes. Now, what are those boxes? They're what you've been told. Every single one of them represents that which you have been told you are. It isn't just inaccurate, dear ones. Some of that was on purpose. Some of it was also the best that humans had at that moment. But it all told the story of a great big God and a dear Spirit, you might say. Show me which way the wind is blowing, so that I will know what direction to go. And I will know, dear Spirit, that if it seems incorrect or wrong, I will dismiss that because I don't know what's in the field. You see, if I were to go straight ahead, and that thing that might achieve my goal of what I think I want to do, it might put me in a hole. It might put me in a place where something might happen. And so therefore, I will tack. I will go another direction for a while, and then I may turn and go another direction for a while. And these directions won't be the ones that I have thought of. They'll be the ones that the wind pushes me to.
Dear Spirit, show me my magnificence. Dear Spirit, bring to me things that remind me of my magnificence. Dear Spirit, show me the magnificence in others.
Dear Spirit, where am I to get the money for my increased rent? Then nothing happens. And then you get worried. And finally, along comes a person who has a better place for you to rent at a lower price. Does this yell at you yet? The time is right. Do it. Go. It's the answer. This is just one simple example of so many things that people have reported to us and that Monica and I have actually personally experienced. To ask them, dear God, dear Spirit, I believe in you. I was always told you were real. I love you. Is it possible that I was not told correctly? Is it possible there is a bigger story that humanity has just started to learn? Is it possible that you are so beautiful and so wondrous and so glorious? I don't need to worship this that is you because it is part of my soul, that you are so beautiful and wondrous and good. You could never, ever punish or anger or any of the things that are human nature that are assigned to the creative source. Dear Spirit, let nothing touch me that's inappropriate for my body. Let that which is my immune system be strengthened because of a higher consciousness that I have. And if that is something I should have, a virus in my body, let it be just like a cold or the flu, which we've had before. And then I recover. And then I move on. And that, dear one, is the common sense approach at this point in time, at the end of the pandemic, where you would not then be afraid for the rest of your life. And there are those who want you to be. Because if they can control your fear, then you will not have light.
Dear Spirit, show me what love looks like. Dear Spirit, bring love into the presence of my life so that I may see love in action and that I may demonstrate compassion to every human that I encounter. For every human I encounter is exactly what love looks like. Dear Spirit, please remind me that we all have come here as a test of love. With free choice, can we love each other as we learn to love the Creator that dwells inside?
Dear Spirit, I recognize an awakening in me, a freedom of my soul, an advancement in my light, an evolution in my consciousness. I hereby drop all energies that don't belong. And that includes past karmas that might have pushed me into areas that are now inappropriate for my life, and instead I am in control of my future. I will visualize the things that will happen on my path. And it will not be some energy of completion or something that I have done in the past that needs to be done again. For I'm now on a new track, a new future. The light is shining and it never did before. I hereby drop my karma.
Dear Spirit, I am a divine creation with a life that is on purpose. Dear Spirit, my magnificence creates a reality for myself that is healthy, steers me to be in the right place at the right time, and gives me wisdom and knowledge to create the perfect solutions for each situation I encounter. Dear Spirit, I intend the best for myself. Dear Spirit, I am aware of the new energy and I claim it for myself, knowing that the love and the light of the Creator shines upon me. It is the light of my own soul. Dear Spirit, thank you for my divine spark. I am ready to enhance my divinity. I acknowledge the golden angel inside that represents my higher self. Dear Spirit, give me intuition to receive benevolent guidance in my life. I am ready for an amplification of my light and for greater balance and wisdom in my daily life. Dear golden angel inside, I give permission and allowance to meld my consciousness with your divinity. Together, let us demonstrate compassionate action.
Dear Spirit, I want a connection to you right now, which will take me out of stress, into peace, so that I'll recognize the solutions that are coming. How about that? Right now, the human being goes into distress and they go see somebody to help them. You're always looking for an outside solution. The evolved human being looks for the inside solution because they recognize it's really there. It really is there. Dear Spirit, you might say, I hereby drop all of the things that would keep me from my magnificence this time around. I choose not to carry any of the negative things that interfere with my magnificence in this life at this time. I don't need them. I'll tell you something. There were systems that happened where you used to need them before this shift, before this awakening. It was called karma. That's why it exists. You carry it through so you can work with it. You don't need that anymore. We have had that discussion on this very program. You don't need that anymore at all. This is a new earth, new energy, new human. And you can drop it. And you can drop it by yourself, without help. Dear Spirit, you might say, I hereby drop all of the things that would keep me from my magnificence this time around. I choose not to carry any of the negative things that interfere with my magnificence in this life at this time. I don't need them. I'll tell you something. There were systems that happened where you used to need them before this shift, before this awakening. It was called karma. That's why it exists. You carry it through so you can work with it. You don't need that anymore. We have had that discussion on this very program. You don't need that anymore at all. This is a new earth, new energy, new human. And you can drop it. And you can drop it by yourself, without help. Dear Spirit, I drop all of the old vows that are not my magnificence and that don't mean what they mean today. I hereby drop them, and I can do that because of what I'm about to do. A new one, a better one that encompasses them all and one's for this life only. And then, dear one, you can make up your vow. I could give you one, but it would be so generic. Every single one of you has a beautiful, beautiful vow. And it can run in any direction. Dear Spirit, I vow to be one of gratitude in this life and to awaken with gratitude and search for better things. That's a simple one. Dear Spirit, show me what it is I need to know. Dear Spirit, I intend to know the benevolence of me. Is there more here that I should realize? Am I bigger than I was told? What is it? I need to know. And if that is you, I guarantee things will start to occur for you. One of the best attributes of this engine is that it starts to lead to other engines. Now, we're going to talk about those other engines in the channels to come.
Dear Spirit, I affirm that there are things I do not know anything about. Help me to change my perception on things that I don't know anything about. Help me to release judgment on the things I do not know about. Dear Spirit, I invite the energy of allowance for positive expectations and benevolence. Dear Spirit, show me how this can be achieved.
Dear Spirit, you might say, today I see all that is before me smoother than it would have been. I give gratitude for what is going to happen. I put in front of me being at the right place at the right time. Dear angels around me, help me through the day. Help me to turn left when I should and right when I should, and not to walk into inappropriate areas of negativity. Thank you. Dear Spirit, I send the perfect love I have for my sacred soul to this person who needs it. Send this person, or even me, peace over any circumstance, then love flowing through every cell. Let the results of this prayer be greater than even I can imagine, and let it meet the needs perfectly. This or something better. I love you, Spirit. I love my soul. I love the one who created my soul. I now understand that I deserve to be a superhuman in kindness, compassion for myself and those around me. Dear Spirit, tell me what I need to know. Dear body, tell me what I need to know. All of these things could be revealed, but that is really not the case, not yet. So you might say there is a time filter involved for humanity, and there is, and we have told you this before, a time filter that may reveal things when they need to be revealed. Dear Spirit, I love you. If you're there, tell me what it is I need to know. Who? Do you dare do that and mean it? And then get ready to be loved. And so it is. Dear Spirit, give me an example in my dreams of the ability to hear the colors, not just see them, so that everything that the universe offers me when I'm on the other side also is accompanied with its own songs, with its own hum, with its own music, with its own piece and part of the sonic universe. Does God like music? Have I answered that question yet? I could go further. Music is your soul. And that is why some of you can sit and simply listen and listen and listen and never get bored. Never get bored. Dear Spirit, you might say, help me to understand and feel who I am and the lineage that I carry of humanity. Help me to have peace over these things and know that I'm included and loved dearly. Help me to feel the entourage with me all the time and relax over the things that I am not relaxing about. Help me to understand my eternalness and the light that I carry for the earth. Dear Spirit, this is the hour. Under the shadow of the mountain, I take that which is the mantle of my responsibility to Gaia. And I give permission to meld to that which I said I could be. Dear Spirit, thank you for the message. Give it to me again.
I'm sitting here. If it's now or if it's later, let me fully understand it, give it again, and then disengage and just be. Sometimes that means going to a place where there's running water or breeze blowing, where you can truly mask the intellect, all of those things that get in the way. From our perspective, the truth, the guidance, the joy, the love, the compassion is always being pushed to you. Dear ones, we are biased in love. You ask questions and we are in the process of answering them constantly. And those times are when you can get on that train of consciousness and pick them up with your intuition. Dear Spirit, I may not know where I'm going. I'm like in the dark half the time. Turn on the light to the place I'm supposed to go. Show me the road. Make it obvious to me. I allow this. I ask for this. This is the path that I know I'm on. Spirit, show me. Dear Spirit, I am worthy to speak to that which is inside me, called the image of God. God, what do you know that I should know? What about that? I would like you to have a recognition, finally, of who you might be. Dear Spirit, show me what it is I'm to do. Are you ready for a change? Are you ready to have something get in the way of what you thought you would do? Are you ready for something to be there that would actually stop you, perhaps? Or maybe advance you into something else you didn't think you wanted? All that comes with the free choice of intent that says, show me, show me, show me. Dear Spirit, let me know what to do next. This guides you into the very places that you were designed to go to. When I say designed, I say this: all of you have potentials. It's not a contract. There are no contracts when you were born, only the potentials. How many of you are aware that you had the potential of being here or awakening to a larger truth during your life? How many of you had experiences where you got to see humanity at its best or worst and got to weigh that into who you are or what you might do next for them or for yourself? All of that culminates in being here. Dear Spirit, tell me what it is I need to know, and laugh the whole time, knowing you don't know anything. But you're going to receive that which you need. Good enough, isn't it? What if Spirit only doles out what you need as you need it? Is it good enough for you? Well, dear Spirit, tell me what it is I need to know. Dear Spirit, I am joyful, this or something better. Dear Spirit, I stand not knowing anything and being so at peace with it because I have God inside. What a teaching. Can a regular human being get to that place? They're sitting in front of me. That's what a light worker is equipped to do. That's what all of this is about, old soul. You've come and gone and come and gone and come and gone, and some of you say, why? What good is it to be an old soul if I'm miserable? And the answer is, that's not the design. Did you get it? He didn't come to suffer, no matter what anybody tells you. Suffering is not honoring God. Dear Spirit, I'd like to peel that onion more. I want to know more. I want to know what's there. Thank you. And get ready for change. I'm crying in love with humanity. And so it is. Dear Spirit, take my hand, and through the synchronicity, the creation of consciousness, show me with intuition what's next and what I should do. Dear Spirit, because I know my soul is allied with you. My life image is God. Because I was told, are you ready? I was made in your image. And that image, dear ones, is love and compassion. You see, that's the real human. Dear Spirit, I wish to change my consciousness, you might say, and soften it. I want to become softer. When those who would insult me or come up and push my buttons, I don't want the buttons to work anymore. I want to disengage them, and that is survival. Because I am safe in the arms of God. Totally and completely safe. I can drop the outer shell that is the human consciousness that reacts to 3D and walk my life differently. That would be the first step. That's the first step. Dear Spirit, I want to be led out of my own pattern. Show me the way. I recognize it's not a pattern that is magnificent. It doesn't even feel sacred. Show me what I need to know. That is enough for the light to start being turned on, for the helpers to start lining up for you, dear ones. As you open a door to something you didn't expect, help. Dear Spirit, bring me the right person, place, or perhaps organization or situation. Well, I can marry this to the intent, and it's going to happen. Dear Spirit, dear God, the day is yours. Let me feel what I wish to feel in that which you wish for me to feel. Let me see the messages that I need for the day. And in the process, you create a piece of a quantum entourage that fits like a puzzle with everyone else's, and that's called family. Dear Spirit, I will not be in fear. Help me to remember this. Help me to remember my magnificence, dear God. Help me to keep the fields and the seeds of light clear of contamination and fear and doubt, worry, so that they can grow strong. And the result will be light on this planet, peace on earth, community spirit, coming together, not tearing apart. Where enemies can eventually look at each other and survive next to each other with understandings and tolerance that will eventually grow into normalcy. And let me be the one to plant the seed for that. That would be a good start. Think on these things, for they represent truth today. Dear Spirit, show me what I need to do. That is sit and be loved. And that is the answer, really, truly, at this moment, in this time, to get into this where consciousness will start develop, because then you'll meet other people that are going through what you're going through. Dear Spirit, dear DNA, dear cellular quantumness that is in me, examine the life that I have and give me those things which will enhance it. And perhaps that's the healing you came for, dear one. Don't you think I know who's here? Dear Spirit, show me what I need to know. And you're overcome, perhaps, with the emotion of love. It's because on the other side of that door, there's a piece of you that is enormous, that has your name, that has its hand out, saying, take it, connect, take it. You don't have to beg to be a connection to Spirit. You don't have to suffer, dear one, because that is you who you're asking to connect to. The first thing that happens, that which is sacred, that which is angelic, the angel you splits out. Dear Spirit, dear body, dear innate, I choose to meld with you in whatever form you decide. Dear innate, thank you for being in me and with me and being me and protecting me. Thank you for the field that surrounds me, that keeps me safe. Thank you that I am able to hone the intuition and know. Innate can tell you if somebody's lying to you. Innate is what allows you to know this channeling is real. Innate knows. More than human consciousness, innate is in a quantum state. It is the quantum part of the human being. That's what the other dimensions create in you. So superstring theory, they say there are 11. There's more than 27. They'll find that out. Dear Spirit, I don't want to offend any angelic entity anywhere here. Dear Spirit, I don't want to do the wrong thing. Dear Spirit, this or that. What are you afraid of? Judgment? You're still doing it, and that is why I'm talking like this. You're still doing it. You're walking around feeling small. Why is that? Why do you humble yourself before God? Now, I just got in trouble, didn't I? That's expected, is it not? Be humble before God. If you are a piece of God, why are you humbling yourself before yourself? Does this make sense? Spiritual common sense. If you're a piece of creation, you don't have to bow to yourself. Dear Spirit, help me to understand at a multidimensional level the concepts that are being presented. For if you can, and if you will, and if you do, it will increase the communication between the two sides of the veil. I'm going to title this channeling so that my partner will not. I don't always title them. You see, titling is something done in 3D. You have to have a label for the box you're about to hear. And so I'll give it to you, just as a dichotomous exercise. And here it is, the humanization of God. Dear Spirit, I am alive in the year, and then say the year. And I am here to make a change on the planet. I hereby drop all the vows that would get in the way of that, for they are belonging to another consciousness and another energy. And instead I renew my vows with the same Akash that took them originally. All of the lifetimes that are now under me are my support. And like a rod that we will put down through history, you will all line up. I need the help of all the consciousness and those souls who I was from the time I first came to this planet. And together, we will create a white light like the planet has never seen. Dear Spirit, if you're there, show me. And you're going to get chills. You'll feel even your eyes are closed that perhaps a light is bright and shining on the top of your head. And the higher self is going to wink at you and said, it's about time you ask. And you can carry that light everywhere you go. Dear Spirit, we invite you to say, show me what I need to know. Dear Spirit, we're inviting you to say, take my hand. I offer it as a metaphor to guide me into a place that is benevolent and more peaceful than I've been in, so that I can understand myself. And when that starts to occur, you have what we will call the realization of your soul. Dear Spirit, give me the ability of neutrality in this question, in pure love, just for a moment. Are you real? Show me. And don't be surprised if you get chills right away. Don't be surprised if things start to happen. Don't be surprised if you get a healing. That is communication. That's the way the Creator says, I'm here. Look, my hand has been out the whole time waiting for you to ask. What took you so long?
What takes humanity so long is the programming that it can't be real.
Dear Spirit, is this true? Many of you use homeopathy as cures for many of the diseases and the trials of humans in their bodies. Homeopathy works, but science says it should not, because it simply sends a tiny signal to the smart part of your body called the innate that then starts processes that strengthen your immune system.
Dear Spirit, show me what it is I need, which is in my Akashic record, that can be pulled forward. Is it healing? Is it consciousness shift? Is it a talent that I need? Is it a block that I need to get rid of? And we've explained this before. Do not go and try to speak to your DNA and pick up what you think it has. We have no idea what it has, do you? Not really. But it does. The DNA consciousness, which is apart from your consciousness, the Merkaba, knows. What you are doing is speaking to your own cellular Akash. Dear cells, give me what it is I need now from the Akash. Dear Spirit, I am part of the creative source. And everything here that isn't perfect is temporary. Dear Spirit, for my neighbor and my friend, who is also joining with me right now, and any time I see perfection, like me. Dear Spirit, they see perfection in me. Dear Spirit, together, as old souls on this planet, and whoever's listening at whatever time, we heal one another in love. Dear Spirit, you might say, thank you for this recalibration, for caring enough about me to know that this is where I want to go and what I want to do. Human being, how you recalibrate now, you will come back in the next life. You won't have to go through it again. There is something called Akashic inheritance. Who you are is not simply the genealogy of those human beings you've come from. You know this. There is an inherited Akash. And so you come in with those things that you've experienced in all the lifetimes, regardless of the parents. And there are sometimes the heaviest things that you have to deal with. And the ones in the chairs listening to my voice are beginning to deal with them. And that is the other thing. Expect these things to come forward. Dear Spirit, I'm here. Let's talk. You gave the invitation. And over a period of time, this is what took place. Then the connection got more often. If you're a meditator, you know. Dear Spirit, I don't know what's around the corner, but it's not going to be what was around the last one. It's going to be better than that. Because of me. You expect it, you affirm it, you are it. It starts to create a synchronicity. Because you are powerful. But if you're always sitting there waiting for something else to change before you move, dear ones, nothing will happen. A new way of life that starts to honor what? You. Your Spirit, help me to speak to my innate. Give me the words. Your body is listening. Your body is always listening. How many times has mainstream told you that? And the answer is probably not much. Dear Spirit, can you give me a sign? That's when you get the chills, because that is when the hand touches you and says, I thought you'd never ask. The process begins little by little. Belief occurs. It took my partner 4 years. And the engineer in him
was still the engineer, but he became the enhanced engineer. Dear Spirit, I'm in the dark. On some things, show me what it is I need to know. Take my hand and let's cross that bridge of knowledge together so I won't have to figure it out myself. And that's when the magic begins. It's called pure intent. You are heard. Definitely, you're heard. Gaia hears you now. Spirit hears you now. The guardians of the canyon, the ancients that have passed through here, they smile because you have just done what they know is possible. I am in Kryon, in love with humanity. And so it is.
Your Spirit. And what Spirit will come in and say, you've always been doing the right thing. And the right thing is living in integrity and love. And you can't beat that, but there's more. We spoke of the wall you come to when you meditate. And you meditate at the wall. And then after you meditate, you get up and come back and do it again and again and again. And so that's the end all, and it isn't. The end all is a meld. The meditation goes to the next step. You become part of the creative source. And you don't walk up after meditating and want to come back. You carry something with you. And that something that you carry with you, dear ones, is the next step. Hard to describe what that is, but it's evolution. Dear Spirit, is it true? Is there more? And I want to tell you, if you are courageous to do that and raise your hand, it's like an antenna. It's an antenna, and that antenna is not going to be struck by lightning. What's going to happen is that hand, which becomes an antenna, is going to have another hand which takes it and starts to pull you out of the mire of an old energy of worry and victimization and dishealth, and start slowly pulling you into an area you don't understand, but that hand is going to hold you while you get used to it. A paradigm you don't know about, seemingly like thin air. And that hand is going to hold you until some time, like the bird throwing the kids out of the nest, where you'll fly by yourself. And that is when miracles start to happen. Are you able right now to say, I've got a problem I know about in the future? Something's there. Dear Spirit, thank you. Bring me more. And what that means is more awareness of intuition. Bring me more. I started this channel and I'm going to end it in the same way. What do you think about the consciousness of the voice you're hearing from the other side of the veil? Is it a partner? Is it a brother? Is it a sister? Or is it apart from you? I know who is listening, who is watching. Even in the replays, I know who is listening and who is watching. And I say to all of you, there's more to this story than you think. There's more love here. There's more compassion. There's more nurturing and caring. If you'll just reach out. Dear Spirit, if you're out there and I'm missing anything, I give permission to be shown what it is. It's as simple as that. It really is. That is pure intent. Dear Spirit, are you there? Some of you will feel the chills of a yes. Dear Spirit, are you there? Dear Spirit, is it true? You're always there. And the answer is yes. Dear Spirit, tell me what it is I need to know. Through intuition, through compassion, not writing on the wall, but let it come into me from you as a child of God, and give me the peace that passes all understanding. Peace where there shouldn't be peace. Compassion and love, so that I may walk from this area. Dear Spirit,
I will never give verbiage to can't again. Dear Spirit, I know that there are things beyond what I can imagine for me. No matter how old I am, I know that I can go further than I ever have gone before. In fact, I'm already there. Because I am part of the shift and not part of the deception. Dear Spirit, why am I here? Again, the same habit that Anaranda has spoken of. And the answer is a good one. And we've told you before. And you may not understand it at all. You're here to be. You mean I'm not supposed to do anything? Oh, you're doing it as you sit there asking what you're doing. And what it is, old soul, you are the only ones on this planet who have the wisdom and carry the light to balance it. You're the only ones. If you're listening to this right now, I just gave you the reason you're here. And everything else you do is by free choice. And at the end of your life, if you look backwards and say, well, I really didn't do anything, but maybe to raise children and cook. Dear Spirit, give me the things that were presented today that I resounded with as I need them. Let me resound with them as I walk day by day, because I'm connected to where they came from. I have soul coherence, you might think and say, and you'd be right. You ever wonder if two people can have what almost is one soul? They don't. They have their own pieces, and yet some of them can be so connected that they call themselves soulmates. And they don't have to be different genders. All they have to have is compassion, one for another, in any situation. Dear Spirit, tell me what it is I need to know, because this has got to change, or I'm frustrated. And then it begins. Now, some of you said, well, I've done that. But it's still a mystery. Oh, it is a mystery. Because you've opened the door into a place you don't know about. The paradigm is different where you're going when you open the door. You got to throw away what you expect. You got to throw away logic. You've got to be comfortable to open the door, walk inside, and say, this is where I belong. I don't understand any of it, but boy, does it feel good. You're more than noticed, dear ones. We walk with you all the time. Dear Spirit, tell me what it is I need to know. And then sit back. And the linear human being will say, well, how's that going to work? Am I going to hear a voice from the sky? How is and the linear human being has no idea, truly, of how a multidimensional consciousness of the Creator, filled with love, talks to you. It talks through intuition and synchronicity and beauty and compassion. What's your day like? How do you start your day? Think about it. Do you get up and worry about what's next? Or do you stop for a moment and say, thank you that I am here on this planet to work the puzzle of light and dark as a rehearsal, perhaps for years, that I'm going to be involved in spreading the divinity. Dear Spirit, tell me what I need to know. And you don't explain the issues to God, because God's with you the whole time. Now, you've heard this before, but never in this context. It's just been words before, and now we are inviting you to drop into the core of who you are, the God inside, and leave everything else that is 3D behind. And you're going to find there is a new energy of acceptance. We have told you that there is a handout, which is your higher self, saying, isn't it time you met me? Really met me. Really met me. A soul which is forever inside you, who knows your Akash, who knows all about the creation of the... Dear Spirit, love me. Most don't. You think about the meditators, and there are so many, who achieve some kind of wonderful, peaceful bliss by sitting and thinking about great things, about being part of nature. But in all of that, how many of them do you think are there and sitting to be loved? Perhaps this is a new concept for you, but it's about time. What if you said to your young children, I want you to sit still for a moment, and I want you to stretch out your hands, and I'm going to sit with you, and I'm going to stretch my hands out, and I want you to feel my love for you. Love, 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 love. Dear Spirit, you might say, is there something larger that I'm missing? Show it to me. Or you might even say, Dear Spirit, I know there are things that are bigger than I was told. Place it on Spirit and ask Spirit, Dear Spirit, give me the ability to help drop the old information. Now you're asking Spirit to help you do something. The hand goes out, you're grasping it. You're going to know it. You're going to feel it. This is the beauty of the human being during the shift with a veil that is lifting. So let's talk about the veil. Where is it? Well, of course, it's over there, and there you can't get through it. What if it was in every cell of your body? What if the veil is a metaphor for the distance between the stairways? Are you getting this? Dear Spirit, I want the things I need delivered to me. And the things that may be profound that I don't need, we'll put them on the shelf for later. But I don't want to go through this linear three-dimensional process of taking all the notes and listening to all of the speakers and trying to all sort it out later, remember what they said. So why don't we make a pact, an agreement with yourselves, your consciousness, and your heart? Dear Spirit, let the things touch me in these days that I came for, and the healing that I came for, and the attitude adjustment that I came for, and the power that I came for. Because it's time. Dear Spirit, to capture that which is love. And what did the doctor tell you about love? The same thing I did. When you are in love with another human being, it's all different, isn't it? We call it temporary insanity. You don't think straight, at least you don't think the way you used to think. And why would love do that? And I will tell you, because that is the force between the nucleus and the electron haze. It is the love of God that fills that space. And when you tap into love in any form, your body knows it. Dear Spirit is to be with you. And that, my friend, is the catalyst for the consciousness shift that is available to you. Let me tell you something I've never said before. You don't have to be spiritual to have God in your life. How about that? But a human being with God in their life, and that is to say, the one who then absorbs the core information
and applies it to themselves is the one who is successful with other humans. The one who is peaceful with other humans. The ones who's not afraid of what's going on in their body. Someone here needs to hear that.
Dear Spirit inside, I thank you. I am part of you. I'm part of this system. And through that system, my consciousness is part of God. I am the creator of my own life. I am the creator of energies on this planet. I am God. And some of you will react and say, that doesn't sound right. It sounds egotistical. It is not. For you to claim the love of God is not ego. For you to claim that you can then change your own habits, your own health, that's not ego. That's power. That is power in love. Dear Spirit, when the timing is right, show me. Dear Spirit, when the train has arrived, make it clear to me. That is when I will perform. That's when I'll act. And that's when everything's going to come to me that should come to me. Instead of me pushing and worrying and saying, why am I stuck? Am I getting through? It's beautiful. The light is here to show when the train is coming. Rearrange your schedule to coordinate with the messages that are being given to you so clearly. Don't interpret the messages incorrectly. See them for what they are. This is new. There is guidance here in the way things are working or not working for you. And if you push and they don't work, stop and wait until the train arrives.
Dear Spirit, I wish to have the solution to the problem in front of me and the ones to follow that I don't even know about in ways I cannot conceive. And I trust Spirit for this. Blessed is the human who has the courage to do that. Instead of saying, Dear Spirit, here's what I need. I need you to do this and that. That boss that I have, get rid of him. I need to have more money. I need to pay this. I need to do this. Oh, how 3D. Spirit may have something a whole lot better than that. Dear Spirit, I trust in synchronicity. I am going to have things come at me because I'm going to get out there and check, go to meetings, go to places. Listen to my intuition, which is new and is going to help me and work with me. Pay attention to my dreams.
Dear Spirit, I would like to go there and find something that I need right now. What is it you might need right now? Kryon, are you telling us we could go there and actually, like a miner, mine the Akash? You can go there and get something, like get the gold that you need of you. Everything you have done in a past life is available this life. Did you know that? That's the setup. Only now can you see how powerful it would be to go there on a regular basis and examine it. What is it you might want? Dear Spirit, I'm having difficulty with this and that. But I know in my past lives I didn't. I know that in there was me with no difficulty. Dear Spirit, you might say, I know my soul is multidimensional and I've been on this plan of earth. The plan of past lives now for a long time. I may have 1,000 past lives in my karma and I keep going on this track of time that Kryon is speaking about. And suddenly I have a perception. And the perception is this. I am a multidimensional being, filled with the love of God, in control of my life. I am learning new paradigms of what is possible with this new engine of enlightenment, this spark that I have that is so much bigger than anything that I've ever seen before.
I'm just beginning to learn. Dear Spirit, I want the news station. I'm standing ready with all the talents of an old soul. Show it to me. And it won't be long before it tunes itself in. But you got to be ready for change. You can't say, well, tune me to the news station and keep everything the same. But you do, don't you? Human nature does not accept or want or like or realize change. Not really. And so this is the plea to those in the audience, to the old soul, to anyone listening to this who is a worker. Open yourself up to things you don't expect, and don't cling to what always worked. Expect more. Dear Spirit, I don't understand any of this, but I'm willing to give it a try. What you've just done is to stick your hand through the veil and say, hold it, will you? You've opened the door with free choice that says, I believe that there may be more than I was told, that God may be bigger than I was told, I may be bigger than I was told. And that's when it floods into you. And the love that you feel from the other side of the veil shouts at you and says, you are magnificent, born magnificent. Let's get on with light on this planet. And you don't have to think about it. And you don't have to label it. And you don't have to make lists, because it's going to come to you intuitively as you need it, day by day. Dear Spirit, is it really true that I'm not here by accident? Dear Spirit, is it really true that I'm not here to be victimized in this world? Dear Spirit, can I really control chance? And all of these things have a resounding yes, dear one, you can. Yes, dear ones, you are. That's the spark. You see it so clearly between human beings, even in a meeting like this. There will be so many, especially in the large meetings, who will come in a curious way to see what's up. Others will come because they are meditators and they want to feel the energy. Others will come for simple curiosity and no more. And they have no interest in metaphysics. And some will come for life change. And there they sit. Dear Spirit, I've been told that I've got to stand up and go through that veil. I'm standing up. Show me which way to walk, will you? And that's when you get intuitively the idea, walk this way, metaphorically. Each one of you will have a different path and a different length that it may take to get to that place. But that place is an enhanced, evolved enlightenment way past meditation. That's where the healers go. That's where the shamans go. That's where the gurus go. When you wonder, where did they leave to? And that is the next step. Dear Spirit, show me that these things are true. I open my heart, my pineal, my mind for information that is intuitive, that will help steer me to the right place, the right time, the right person for solution in my life. And I do it begrudgingly, like exercise, but you have permission. When the person starts exercising, it's almost like the body is aware. They're doing something, and they're aware. And it may take the body 2 or 3 times then to develop the results that you see.
Dear Spirit, is this really so? And I'll tell you, that higher self of yours, if you let it, if you let it, it'll take your hand and say, listen, not only is it so, it's about time you heard it. And that's why you're in the chair. And you know it. You know, right now, before we get into the subject matter right now, I'll tell you, there is an entourage in this place that is sitting upon you with an energy of a dispensation that is beyond what you'll have when it's over. Now, what I mean by that is that you can do more right now in this group than you could ever do by yourself.
Dear Spirit, to have a healthy body, I intend to get through life without worry. I intend to stop fearing. And then you're quiet for a moment and your brain goes, even though I don't deserve it. You're going to have to change that programming. I mean now. Because this is the time you waited for. Don't waste this. Don't waste this with unsurety and lack of self-worth and doubt and worry. All of that old energy that just lays there, smiling at you, saying, I got you. Because it does, if that's how you do it. Can the human being really get past that point? And the answer is, oh yeah. We wouldn't have told you this if it were not so. Hey, dear Spirit, it is well with my soul. No matter what today, it is well. Tell me what I need to know this day. Push on that interdimensional door, we say, just with your intent, and it will start to flow into you. And you might say, well, I've done that and I don't feel anything. And I will say to you, that's because in 3D you expected an answer right then. How 3D of you. No, you get the answer when you need it. Haven't you figured that out yet? Haven't you figured that out yet? Dear Spirit, you might say, I don't understand you at all. But what I know is that I'm fine with all of it. I walk in tomorrow not understanding it at all, but I know that I'm cared for, that the ancestors are here, and that I'm a wise old soul on this planet, participating today in what used to be, for I am one with everything. Dear Spirit, I feel lousy, and I love you anyway. You're going to feel tingles all over your body of Spirit celebrating the courage you have to be in trouble and also in love. Now that is an old soul. That's an old soul. And that's the message for today. Be still and know that you are God. And so it is. Dear Spirit, if this is so and this is true, in some way, show me. In some way, give synchronicities so that I can see that perhaps this is not just one message from one channeler. Dear ones, there are indigenous all over the world who will give you the same message that I just gave you. It is well known. Where do you stand here? Will you receive the love from your star family? I'm crying in love with you all. And so it is. Dear Spirit, whatever the system is, if I have a choice, I've done my thing, this is it, I'm tired. Do I really have to come back? I'm going to answer that as fully as I can, and perhaps in a way that you didn't expect. This has been part of the teaching that my partner has been giving for some time. I'm not really sure that I've given that answer to you specifically in a separate channel, and now you get it. The answer, do you have to come back? No, of course not. You have full and complete choice, dear ones. Dear Spirit, is this the new way of it? Show me. That intent will actually show up in the next meditation because you've asked for it. Old soul, you deserve it. I believe that there are those who will take this message and it may change their lives. Enhanced you are. And so it is. Dear Spirit, let the light of the super consciousness, which is Spirit, precede me in every step. Let it go before me. Let everyone show the safety that is here and the beauty, where no dark thing can touch it or even get close to it. Let that be me. How about that one? Be like one of those refrigerators and have that saying stuck to it, like a refrigerator magnet. You're going to say that instead of the protection that you would say before. Dear ones, it may seem fun. To some it may seem silly. But I'll tell you, this is the new human. And this is why I came. To let you know truly who you are becoming. Dear Spirit, you might say, allow me to hear it in my own way, and maybe it is the love that I feel, the peace that I feel. Give me the sound of peace, and let it permeate me, so that I may rest assured of my magnificence in this truly a new world. I am crying in love with all of you, telling you, history is not going to repeat itself. There are new things for you to learn and battles for you to win in tolerance, enlightenment, and mastery. But that's why you're here. And so it is. Dear Spirit, you might say, give me the intuition I need so that I will always be guided correctly with the mastery I'm learning. I'm Kryon. I would not have given you this if it were not so. And so it is. Dear Spirit, I feel awful. Show me you're there. And at that point, I invite you for the tingles to start arriving in your hands, in your arms, perhaps even your shoulders. That is absolutely cause and effect, positive reaction to what you just asked for. Because Spirit loves you so much and sits beside you in so many cases, saying, why don't they ask? Why don't they just blurt it out and let us help them? Why don't they let us take their hands? This is you in an active meditation. Show me. And when you start to feel those tingles, perhaps, and those feelings in your shoulders, perhaps, I want you to force a smile. And say the words, thank you, Spirit. I see you there. My dear Spirit, put a bubble around me that protects me from anything I fear, and give me only the love that is there, which is the truth. I am crying in love with humanity. And so it is. Dear Spirit, let me reach through and grab the other stairway for a moment and embrace my soul. That's all it takes, intent. And suddenly, you're flooded with intuition. Intuition that will then give you what the book might have given, or help with the course that you're taking. All of these kinds of things are yours from the beginning of your life. Question. So many of you have children, or have had children. Do you remember the first years when they were talking to other entities, perhaps, or pretending they were talking, or having some kind of life that you don't even know about? In those years, they were still on the stairway, both of them. They were involved in this without the intellect to question it or even know what it was. That's the childlike, that's the inner child. Dear Spirit, help me to see, feel, and work with the new dimensionality that will give me greater wisdom. You've just given intent to move forward. So yes, a higher dimension will allow for greater consciousness. What is the process internally that is also changing and giving allowance and also changing your biology? This is something we gave you this month in a previous channeling on innate. When we talked about innate, we told you some of the things we have not told you before. It's not just a smart body measuring system. It's an active body healing system, balancing system. Dear Spirit, if these things are true, show me what's next. Dear Spirit, if anything of these things are true, show me how I can hook on, you might say, to an awakening that so many are going through. Dear Spirit, show me. You have the right to ask in that way. You have to go to meetings or read books or have processes in order to give permission for an awakening or to even know that maybe something is bigger. But the real news is this. For those who are in that process of realizing that there's more than you thought, or discovering what some loosely have called the law of attraction, or what we say that belief is the wand of reality, and that you can bring things to you. Dear Spirit, you might say, the timing may not be perfect, but I hereby thank you for the shift. We are now moving forward to what we learned there and what happened there into a more mature time. Show us the pathway that makes sense in this new time we have. Show us what it meant, what it all meant, and what we do next. It is for humanity that this is happening, dear ones. It's a shake-up time, and indeed it has been. Now, that shake-up time is not necessarily going to continue in the intensity that it has been, and that's the whole point. Dear Spirit, is this so? Is it not? Give me a sign. Did you know you could do that? And what's the sign you want? Perhaps a feeling of peacefulness. Perhaps you and that which is what you think is God or Spirit have worked out a little system. Many have. Of discerning things for yourself. You get transmissions, you get emails, you might say. You get messages, you might say, that tell you to do this or that, or you've won this or that. Most of you by now, you have discernment of what is correct, what is not correct, what is real and not, because you've had about 6, 7 to 10 years of this to discern. It's the same in almost everything else that is happening. The discernment engine is starting to be good. Dear Spirit, allow me to do that. This is you talking to your innate for your sensitivity to reframe it into something that is beautiful, actionable, and works. That may be why you're here, listening to this, dear ones. So what is that again, Kryon? How can I turn this around? Take the wheel, please. And that is a metaphor of you driving your own life. Dear Spirit, get me out of this rut of being too sensitive for my own good, because it doesn't help the planet for me to sit here and suffer with everyone. And instead help me to reframe all of that energy into a compassionate action that I can smile when I send light to these suffering people. Dear Spirit, help me not just to understand these things, but to get through this. Help me to get through this time where it looks like nothing is working. How long is that going to take, Kryon, is the next question. And the answer we always give is this. Humanity is in charge of the timeline for solutions and the problems. You always have been. And it has to do with how contagious higher consciousness can be. And what I mean by that is, will you be able to influence those with joy who need it? Can you influence those who are in trouble who need it? Can you be the influencer with your magnificence and your balance in times of turmoil? Dear Spirit, I know I'm supposed to go over here or there. Please help me with this. And it doesn't happen. You don't get the answer that you want. There are several things I could tell you about this. The first thing is that Spirit loves you enough for you to know that these things you will get help on. You will. Spirit loves you enough to know that you're distressed because the things are not answered quickly. But Spirit cannot give you all the information you need until it occurs. In other words, Spirit does not know the future. The future is determined by the free choice of humanity. Dear Spirit, help me to understand where I'm supposed to go. Am I supposed to rent this home or not? Am I supposed to rent this space or not? Am I supposed to go here or go here? Dear Spirit, I am looking for the new frequency. Show me what I must do. Help me to be completely and totally peaceful with this change so that I can move not in fear or anxiety, but in compassion. Show me where that new frequency is. Show me where that light is. And let me, at that time, find the pure center where the new stuff is. Help me to find the new center of that frequency where everything I had comes back full and more. Everyone who is a healer here will find that their powers of healing and understanding and observation are increased. Dear Spirit, help me to know what's going on. What should I know? What is it that I should do? Or perhaps you have in mind something that you're planning on, and there's an action item, and you will say, bring it to fruition, to completion. Help me to know what to do. And then you sit, and very little happens. And this is where the human being starts to get impatient. Why would it be that if you believe in your own magnificence and you believe in the power of prayer, and so many of you do who watch this, you know this, it's worked before. You give intent for benevolent outcome, and you sit, and yet you are now impatient, whereas before perhaps you weren't. I think that the times actually are what creates a lot of this impatience. Dear Spirit, give me the discernment that I need to know whether these things are true or not. That's number one. You will get the discernment, and it's going to slap you in the face when you hear biased news reporting. And you will say, did they really spin that into fear? Where is the good news? The next stage of that is, where should you get the news of the day that so many of you need and want, because you want to be an informed citizen of your country and the planet? And the answer that I've always given is this: find it in written form somehow, because the chances are that will be written from a journalist who went to school and learned the actual integrities and the ways of being a journalist. Those on the news are entertainers that you see on television. Get it? Dear Spirit, I'm frustrated. I feel stuck. Dear Spirit, show me that I'm not stuck. Give me the assurance and then actually the perception of what may be going on my path. Now that's a fair prayer. It's a very, very good one, because it starts to strengthen the idea that when you are in a crossroads or you're not understanding something, you can ask for an allowance to understand it. Have you thought of that before? Dear Spirit, I'm in a new landscape, and I'm trying to do the old things that are not working. Show me some of the things to change. I will give allowance for these changes and become unstuck. How about that? Dear Spirit, thank you that I have joy and I have peace. It's inside.
Help me to strip away what doesn't belong in me in order to find that, to have that show. Dear Spirit, I'm grateful for these things. You can talk to yourselves or the cells in your body or even the angels around you in gratitude. Do you awaken in a safe place? Do you have things to eat? Many don't. Do you have the gratitude going for you as well? These are the attributes that create a peaceful, compassionate soul, you might say, on the planet. You already have this.
Dear Spirit, I feel this happening. Show me what I need to know. And then have a nice day. It's different. This is a veil which is thinning, so much so, it's almost like you are an antenna, and you can put it up and get what you need and push it back down and say, thank you, Spirit. And then turn right, turn left with enhanced intuition and all these things that are coming to you naturally, because that thinning veil is broadcasting to you. That's the message of the day. Dear Spirit, show me what I need to know in order to get to where I belong. This or something better is for me. I'm on my way. Thank you. That's all. And then stand back, because you just threw away the box of assumptions on how you think it's really done. You're powerful. Take it and run with it. It's time.
Dear Spirit, place in me what I need. And you'll save a lot of time, dear human being, if you'll stop telling us what you think we should know. Don't you think we're around? Oh, you sit in front of Spirit and you say, oh, you won't believe what happened today. Oh, yes, we do. We were there, remember? Well, Spirit, I'm going to have a hard time paying the rent. Don't you think we know that? Don't waste time. We're in love with you. Don't waste time. Just get to the point. And the point is this. Dear Spirit, give me what I need and tell me what I need. And then give me peace that it has been accomplished. And I'll just sit here and I'll be loved. Dear Spirit, with pure intent, I ask you to open the door and begin the process with me without reading anything, without studying any history, without opening a book or talking to anyone. There are so many different ways. They are individual just as you are, and they will suit the consciousness you came in with. No right, no wrong. Just find the food. Dear Kryon, how do we start? What is it like? We've just given you a scenario of a beginning. Some of you have done this. Some of you have done this a long time ago. You're in the process of climbing the stairs of ascension. And we know who you are too. Dear Spirit, dear God, in this new changing energy, what is it that a regular human being on this planet who is an old soul, what is it we can do that will not only enhance this energy, help ourselves, but also be commensurate to what is going to happen? What can we do? What is it, if you want to use the word, we should be doing? And we've told you before, there are no shoulds. So you reinterpret that and say, what is the most honorable thing that we can do to match the energy? And so I'm going to tell you. Now, dear ones, dear Spirit, tell me what it is you want me to know. Because we're already on board with everything in your life. Do I have to say that again? We're already on board with everything in your life. Come to us and let us talk to you. Just let us talk. And try to interpret the thought groups that come first without analyzing. Get used to this. But as far as you talking to us, it doesn't matter how you do it. Now, there will be those that say, well, there has to be wrong ways to do it. No, there aren't. No, there aren't. Well, Kryon, what do you think about religious groups who have to face a certain direction or have a prayer rug or wear something special? And what I say to you is, let them do that. It honors God in their culture.